Without my cattle, my wallet would be full, my house would be clean, but my heart would be empty. This was written from an anonymous source. In this speech, we're going to be talking about high-quality show calves, raising breeding stock to sell, and then we're going to compare the two ways of raising cattle.
First, let's graze on the high-quality show calves. In this industry, we spend money just to have the perfect show steer or heifer. Our heifers are artificially inseminated, or AI, to produce the well-structured calves that we need to win county fairs, progress shows, and the bigger fairs at the state level. Show calves have many qualities, one of these being extreme hair. Show calves have a lot of hair, and this gives off an eye attraction to the judge during a show, and it makes their legs look bigger and more muscular. There are many differences between show calves and feedlot calves. One of these are they're shorter, stockier, and more extended in their midsection. In our barn, we have a day-to-day schedule. We bring them in at 7 in the morning, and then we wash them, blow dry them, and put oil in them. Some oils that we use are Revive, Show Sheen, and Pink Oil, and these all help the calves' hair look shinier and thicker. In the barn, it's 55 degrees, and there's 2 to 3 fans running on the calves all day long. The reason it's so cold in the barn is to help the calves grow hair, because if we just left them outside, all their hair would fall out and they wouldn't look very good for our shows. According to Paul Rasmussen, the types of feeds that we use are Show Chow, Wonderfill, and Brome. Each of these does something different. For instance, Show Chow helps calves gain weight, while Wonderfill helps them look full, and Brome helps keep bloat under control if and when needed.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. There are many different ways between raising show cattle and breeding stock. And right now we're going to talk about raising breeding stock. According to Wayne Show, our calving period are in the months March through June. During this period, we calve them, and during this, I'm usually the one who gets up in the morning to check them unless I have school, then my dad does. And then my dad checks them throughout the afternoon since he's always on the farm, and then we have a guy come out around midnight and check the calves. Once the cow has had a calf, we have to tag it so we know who it belongs to. Then we have to give it shots so it doesn't get sick, and so it gives it a boost on growing. And then we move it to a different pasture so that the calf doesn't get confused with the cows that hasn't had calves yet. And once all the cows have had calves, we bring them back to the barn. And we have to work them. We work them by vaccinating them, so when we send them out to pasture, they don't get sick. And then we brand them so that everybody knows that there are calves. After that, we sort them and move them to pasture with bulls, and they're at pasture for all the summer and some of the fall. During the fall, we harvest, and after we're done harvesting, we bring the cattle home and put them on corn stalks, and we also rent corn stalks so that the rest of the cattle can also be on corn stalks for the winter. When they're done with corn stalks, we bring them back and sort the calves off from the cows, and that's called weaning. And we sort the heifers from the heifers that we want to keep and the heifers that we're going to sell, and then we sell the bulls from the ones that we're going to keep for our sale and the ones that we're going to sell as steers. And we sell the heifers when they're a year old, and then we sell the steers when they're a year old, but we don't sell the bulls until they're 2 years old, so they're fully grown. That winter we AI the heifers, and then we calve them out that spring, and it's just a big old cycle that we do on our farm.
Let's move on to the next topic. It takes a lot of time for each of us to care for calves, whether it be AIing them for spring or vaccinating them. Show calves and heifers, calves, and bulls need to be vaccinated before they go out to pasture, so there isn't any complications out there when they're by themselves. We each have to ration out feed so the calves can gain the right amount of weight at the right time and not gaining an excessive amount of weight or a small amount of weight. A lot of money goes into raising calves. Some supplies that show calves need are oils, clipping supplies, and show boxes, and breeding stock need ear tags, vaccines, and water tubs.
So you be the judge. Which one of these ways of raising cattle would you prefer? In this speech, we talked about raising high-quality show cattle, raising good, strong breeding stock, and then we talked about the similarities between them. So let's put this speech out to pasture.